Oh, welcome, welcome. Today we go ahead and talk about discipline as well. I know that we've talked about discipline so many times, but one thing I've seen is so many people are getting derailed from their goals. So many people are getting derailed from the kind of future they envisioned, and they're not able. Some of them are paralyzed. Some of them are just not paralyzed, but they have been weakened. They are lazy. They are discouraged. They are self-sabotaging. They are procrastinating. Like everything bad that could happen is actually happening. But again, when we remind ourselves of how important discipline is, because we say that we don't rise to our goals, we actually fall to our habits. And we usually say that our habits make us or break us. So if we say our habits make us or break us, the only ingredient that actually upholds our habits is discipline. Discipline is a choice. Discipline does not just happen randomly. Discipline is not something that is contagious. Discipline, as in discipline, is something that you make a hard decision about and say, this is what I want, and if this is the sacrifice I must make, if this is the compromise I must make, if this is the work I have to put into, if this is the commitment I have to make, then so be it. I am willing to see it through. It is the willingness to make that decision, to act on it, to execute on it, that gets you to where you want to get. I know that this is a community of business people. This is a community of people that, high executives, high-end executives, middle-line managers. This is a community that has so many people that have dreams, so many people that have visions, so many people that want to get somewhere. If you've not yet started a business, you're looking to start a business. So at whatever level we are at, it is very important to look at the aspect of discipline so that you can keep yourself accountable for the rest of the year and the coming years, when you know that discipline is your ability and your willingness. Okay, your ability, because it just being an ability would have said anyone can have can have discipline, but your willingness to control your actions, to control your emotions, and to control your habits. To control your emotions, to control your habits, and to control your actions. It is your ability. It is within you. You have the willpower to choose, but you have to be willing to choose it, so that even when you don't feel like it, even when it seems hard, even when no one is doing it, because sometimes we ought to prepare the prices or sacrifices where no one is actually sacrificing. Everyone feels like it's a party, but you are the one that feels like, you know what, it's better I work hard today so that my tomorrow will be better. Ask yourself, how many of your friends are just having the fun of their life, one big party in this life, but you are the only one that is concerned about the future. You're the only one that is concerned about the rate of inflation, the exchange rate, how much money will I make? Where am I headed? What am I going to make of my life? You are the only one that is actually concerned. So you should be the only one that is formulating the disciplines that you choose to measure in, and you let away all the distractions to make sure that you can be able to hit the goal that you want to be able to get. Okay, so discipline is what makes you. Waking up early when you would rather sleep in, it is a choice, just like we said. Okay, it is a choice. Staying focused when distractions are everywhere, and they are sweeter. Distractions are sweeter. Let me tell you, distractions are naturally, the only reason as to why they will pull us away from the goal, they will pull us away from what we know is the right thing to do, is because momentarily they seem sweet, momentarily they seem stimulating, momentarily they give you a momentary kind of pleasure and comfort, and you just feel like, yeah, this is it. I don't need anything else. I don't need anything else. It gives you a sense of arrival, and which you actually don't need. So staying focused when distractions are everywhere, and they are sweet, and they are speedy, and they and they are delivering themselves to you, and they're just available. available. Distractions are always available. Encouragement, self-belief, confidence, discipline, character, those are things that are unavailable. But distractions, everywhere, everywhere. It is like a weed. It does not need mulching. It does not need good conditions. It does not need anything in order to grow. It just needs itself. Okay, it will grow anywhere, even in concrete, even in the road, and that is distraction for you. Keep working even when the motivation fades. Yeah, that is because we have said that discipline is what makes you keep going, keep putting in the effort, even when the motivation is, even when there is no one cheering you on. But you're like, you know what, I don't need anyone to cheer me on. I think I know what I want and I will go for it. Why do you think we call some people go-getters? It's because they have made a decision that I am going for it. I am not looking at distractions. I am not looking at the discouragement. I am not looking at anything else. All I am looking at is my goal and what I want to get, and I'm going for it. All right. So it's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent and staying committed to what truly matters. Staying committed to what truly matters. And this is a question I'm asking for you. What truly matters for you? What truly matters for you? Not for anyone else, but for you. Does it matter that you make more money? Does it matter that you stay healthy? Does it matter that you be present with your family? Does it, as in, how much does it even matter to you? Because if it matters to you, if you commit to something that you truly believe matters to you, then you're going to want to keep the commitment. You're going to want to pursue it relentlessly. You're going to want going at it relentlessly. So discipline is not just about being perfect. That, oh, I have woken up on time all year. Oh, I have eaten good food, clean food all year. Oh, it's not about being perfect. But discipline suggests that even when you fall down, you can get up and still run the race. You can still commit to what truly matters. It doesn't mean that you're not going to give up. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get angry. You're not going to give up. It doesn't mean that sometimes results will take long to kick in and that will be discouraging, but you commit consistently to what truly matters. And discipline is very crucial for success, for significance. It helps you stay consistent. The thing that, just like we said, that habits are made by you deciding to be disciplined. Because when you're disciplined at a habit, just like we talked about in the previous video, and we say that when you stack up on your habits, you acquire one by one. You don't spread yourself so thin and you want to acquire like 7 different or 10 different habits, but you acquire one by one. Is that after you acquire it, you already have it. It's a part of you, and you go ahead acquiring another one and conquering another one. Okay. And so if discipline is the one that helps you be consistent, that means it's very, very crucial, because success is not built in one day. Significance is not built in one day. It is built through small daily efforts over time, small daily efforts over time. Your business is not going to grow in overnight. Okay, it is going to be built through the small daily efforts that you put in over time. Okay, your brand is not going to be built in a day. It is going to be built by the small daily efforts that you put in over time. So talent and motivation will get you started sometimes, but discipline will keep you going when the motivation has run out. It will keep you on the road. It will keep you in pursuit. It will keep you looking at the prize. It will keep you not giving up, even when the going. If you start a business and you don't get the kind of money that you wanted, okay? If you, whatever it is, if you build a brand and you're not getting the kind of clientele that you need immediately, as everything else is fading away, as talent and motivation fade away, discipline will keep you going. Will keep you going. You'll be like, you know what? Not everyone actually started the way I started. Let me just keep going. You will encourage yourself. You will speak to yourself. You will go back to the drawing board, but you will start again. You will not give up. And in this case, we have seen so many so many runners, so many sportsmen that don't feel like training every day. I've told you before that I have been and I've done quite some mindset coaching for so many football teams and for so many football clubs. And so many times we think that these players, they like being on the pitch. They like doing the drills. They don't like them. They have to do them because they have a job to do. And most of them are on contract, and their contracts, are based on years and all that. So they wouldn't want to do the things that they are doing. But guess what? Every single day, their discipline makes them show up. And that is why they succeed. That is why even if they lose today, they will lose a match today and they will be on the pitch the following morning doing the drills, going through the worst form of training so that they can be able to prepare for the next match. So that has to be us. That yes, it doesn't mean that you're not going to fail. You're going to fail. You're going to learn some lessons, and then you're going to show up again, and you're going to be disciplined while you're doing that, so that you can have a totally different result from the results that you had. So it doesn't mean that you will love doing what you do. I mean, no one loves going to office. I mean, if it were up to us, if it were up to me, I would have stayed in my home the whole day with my children, But there is that consistency, there is that discipline of, if I want better, I must be able to do better. What must I do in order to realize the kind of results and the kind of life that I want to have in this life? Okay, so I need you to note that discipline is something that is very crucial to you running your journey towards success, and discipline beats motivation. Okay, motivation can wear out. Motivation comes and goes. It's based on emotions, where someone stirs you up and you lift your chair and you shout, where you make declarations, where you chant, where you encourage yourself. That is very good. It pumps you up, it pumps you up with a shot of energy, but that energy is not long. It's not going to live long. That energy is going to die out very, very quickly. So if it's based on emotions, that means discipline, however, is a system that keeps you on track even when you don't feel like it. So that means discipline is not it's not an emotional thing. And I think I've said it so many times that do not let your feelings drive or dictate where you go, what you do. No, the feelings are supposed to be a co-driver. The feelings are supposed to be indicators of what is or what is going to be, but they should not be dictators. So your emotions must be locked out in order for you to have the discipline in order to run the race and be able to fulfill the things that you need to be able to fulfill. Okay, so I need you to be able to look into that. You might not feel motivated to either write a book or to start a coaching business, or to start a speaking business, or to be a great minister, or to be a great mother, for that matter, or to be a great father, whatever it is, or go to gym or work in your business. It just doesn't feel like you are motivated to do so. But if you are disciplined, you will do it anyway. If you are disciplined, you will do it anyway. Okay? No one will be calling you out. No one will be calling you out. You will not be feeling motivated to do any of those things. But if you can push yourself and do it anyway, that means there is something special about you. That means success is your portion. That means significance is your portion, because you didn't feel like doing it, but you did it anyway because it needed to be done. Yeah, you needed to work on your business. You needed to lose that weight. You needed to show up in that gym. You needed to show up in that meeting. You needed to show up in that boardroom. You needed to write that proposal. Some of these things, why aren't you doing? And I need you to be able to ask yourself, as in, what are you avoiding? What are you avoiding? Because I have found out that so many of us are avoiding certain things while we are lying to ourselves that we need the success or we need the significance. And yet we are boldly telling ourselves that, we cannot be able to actually do it. Okay, so I need you to understand, to know that motivation is not a feeling that is going to be there always. No. You're going to feel discouraged. You're going to feel like giving up. You're not going to feel like going to that gym. You're not going to feel like, eating right, you're not going to, whatever it is, working on your business, you're not going to feel like it, but do it anyway. Do it anyway. That is the only thing that is going to differentiate between people that are going to make it and those that are not going to make it. Those that are going to make it rich and wealthy and those that are not going to make it to that world at all. So what your feelings should never take the driver's seat. Your feelings should be indicators. Indicators that you listen to, but not indicators that dictate the journey that you're going to take. Who becomes your friend, what you do, what you eat, where you go, when you work out. Your feelings should be subdued. Okay, they should be subdued, because you might not feel like motivated, okay, to do any of these things, but do them anyway. That's going to change the trajectory of your life. It's going to rewire, to reprogram the trajectory of your life. And then I talked about discipline being the benchmark for the habits that we have. And we've talked about habits and habits and habits, but we rarely talk about discipline, and discipline being the springboard on which all strong habits are actually bouncing off. Because successful people, most successful people, don't feel or don't rely on willpower. They don't rely on willpower. Otherwise, if they relied on willpower, they would have waited to feel better about something in order to do it. But you will find a man chasing after something. You don't see how well it's going to work. You don't see its future, but they are pursuing it with all their energy. So that means they don't rely on the willpower alone. They create habits and routines that make success an automatic thing. So what are the habits? Some of these are morning routines. Some of these are networking routines. Some of these are, and because they have done them long enough, they have become a part of their life that they no longer struggle to choose between what and what. So that means your discipline, you being disciplined, is going to build strong habits, and those strong habits are going to create the kind of life that you want. Okay, so I need us to go together here, because if you if you discipline yourself, for example, to wake up very early in the morning, and eventually it becomes a habit, you won't have to force yourself. It becomes a second nature. Yeah, if you discipline yourself to eat well, you realize it will become a second nature. If you discipline yourself to reading and getting more knowledge and wisdom, it will become a second nature. So whatever you do repetitively, okay, whatever you do on a repeat mode, that's something that becomes a part of you. So I need you to know that your discipline will in turn create and build the strong habits that you want to be able to build in your life, so that you can be able to hit your goals and get the things that you need to get in this world. All right. And then discipline also helps you overcome distractions. It really, really helps you. I speak about these things because they have been so helpful, so helpful. I think I mentioned it somewhere. I should have been at an engagement, at a speaking engagement, and I told them that, you know what, in as much as this year for some people started so well, they were hyped up about the year, and they were making declarations, they were making posts, they were doing all these things. I was like, on the other hand, I don't think I was really that excited or fully prepared. I think I started this year with a bit of mixed feelings and distractions, and then slowness and and weakness and all that. But that did not make the beginning of the year bad for me. It's because I gave myself grace and say that, you know what, let me just sit in here, feel my feelings, and then I can decide where I go from here. And guess what? When I decided that it was time for me to get going, it was time for me to get going. So the distractions that are surrounding you, discipline will help you to overcome those distractions. In a world full of distractions, social media, entertainment, negative influences, name it, there's so many things that are surrounding us. Discipline helps you to stay focused on your goals, and your focus must be protected. Your focus must be protected at all costs, and ignore what does not serve you. So ignore what does not serve you and focus on your goals. Ignore focus, because being disciplined is going to help you overcome any form of distractions. So if you just know that, you know what, these ones I'm supposed to ignore and these ones I'm supposed to focus and laser focus, and my focus must be protected because I need it for the long haul. All right, I need it to overcome. I need it to be wealthy. I need it to materialize all my dreams. I need it. I need it. I need it. Okay, so I need you to be able to go back and be able to audit yourself and look at your own life. Are there things that you have ignored? Are there things that you are focused on? And are there things that you were focused on, but you feel like there is a lot of crisscrossing? There is a lot of, there's a judge I was watching recently, and he was talking about jibby jabber. There's a lot of jibby jabber going around, yeah, when things are not going well. So this world is filled. It is filled to capacity with things that have the ability to distract you, to rob you of your time, to just make you powerless, to just make you less of a thinker, to just make you less of an idealist, to just make you less of everything that you thought you stand for. Are you going to let the enemy do that? Are you going to let indiscipline do that? Are you going to, are you going to let it? If you're not willing to let it, then this is the time. This is the time that instead of scrolling mindlessly through your phone for hours, discipline pushes you to use the time to read, to learn, to work on your goals so that you can be able to hit them even much faster. And that is doable. That is doable. You might sit here and look at me and say, but Bahati, is it? Yes, it is. It is. Okay. So I need you to be able to commit with all your heart, because what discipline is going to help you do, it is going to help you overcome distractions. Distractions do not come from God. Distractions are confusions that derail you from your original journey. Your original journey is that Jesus came that we will have life, and life in its fullness. Yeah, but the devil came that he will kill, destroy, and you know that. So evidently, if we want to live the abundance, if we want to live in alignment, if we want to live in authenticity, there are things that we are going to stop doing, and one of them is scrolling mindlessly through your phones for hours instead of creating a discipline that will push you to learning and working on your goals. All right, so many of these things have worked for me, and I hope that they can be able to work for you as well. Discipline gives you control over your life. Who does not want control over their lives? I know I want control over my life. And a disciplined person does not let circumstances, emotions, and excuses control them. Okay? They take charge of their actions and create a future that they want. That even if you have small, that even if you have nothing, for as long as you have a brain, for as long as you have ideas, for as long as you have, let me tell you, nothing can fail. Nothing can fail. If discipline gives you control over your life, that means you have denied control from any external things, from anyone else that thinks they know more, from anyone else that would have been contributing, and you're centralizing it, and you're saying that, you know what, I need to have control in my life. This is my life. I must be disciplined, because no one is going to practice the discipline for you. No one is going to practice that. It is you. You must be able to prioritize it and be able to work towards it and be able to attain it in your life. Okay, so take charge of your actions and create the future that you want. And if you wait for the perfect time to start your business, you will never start. You will never start. The perfect time, there is no perfect time. There is no perfect time to start your ministry. There is no perfect time to start your coaching business. There is no perfect time to start. It just doesn't exist. There is no perfect time to start anything. Discipline makes you take action despite the challenges, despite the setbacks, despite the lack, despite, as in, it will help you, propel you, okay, so that you can take action despite the challenges that are around you. I hope that we are moving together. For those of you that are just joining us, we are talking about discipline, and we say that discipline is the ability and the willingness to be able to control your emotions, to be able to control yourself, okay, to be able to just control your actions actions to control your, as in it is being in control, that you know what, I'm going to be disciplined and I'm going to push this through and it is actually going to work. Okay, so make sure that you know and you can see to fruition that discipline makes you take action despite the challenges that you are facing. How do we develop discipline? Because some of you will ask, how do I develop discipline? You're talking about discipline and in relation to our success, in relation to our future, you're talking about discipline, but how do I actually develop discipline? The key area here is to start small. Don't try to change everything at once. Remember when we were talking about the tips, yeah, when I was giving you the tips for my own life and how they have actually helped me, and I told you that I stuck my progress, I stack my goals, my visions, the things that I want to achieve. The moment I do that, then I go on handling one by one instead of handling so many at a go. So start with a small step, okay? Focus on one habit at a time. Do not focus on 5 habits at a time. Some of us have that kind of weakness, and I will tell you, the people that have that kind of weakness are actually sanguines. They have that kind of problem. They want to be able to focus on, as in they focus on so many things at the same time. While a choleric will tell you, let me focus on this, finish it and focus on another, finish it and focus on another, and finish it. So don't try to change everything at the same time. You're going to cause a lot of fracas and a lot of problems. Change the things that you need to change today so that tomorrow you will change the things that you need to change tomorrow. How do we develop the discipline? Have a clear vision. Know why you need the discipline. A strong why will keep you going. A strong why will have you work harder. A strong why will keep you showing up. A strong why will keep you researching, will keep you reading. Have a clear vision. A clear vision. Know why you need the discipline. Know why. Yeah, and I know that when you know that you need it, then it's so easy to work on it, to go look for it, to be able to find the help that you need, but have a clear vision, a strong why as to why you are doing the things that you are doing. And then the other thing it does is actually limit temptations. Okay, what discipline does, or how to develop discipline for success, is eliminate all the temptations. Okay, remove the distractions, the negative influences, and make discipline that make even discipline harder. Remember, we say that if you have your things spelled out, okay, then you are making work easy for yourself. The checklists, yeah, you make work easy for yourself. But if you have to deal with eliminating temptations, to remove distractions and all the negativity and influence that makes discipline even harder, you have to be able to know that this is the only way. There is no other way. If I want to develop my discipline for success, if I want to develop my discipline for wealth, if I want to develop my discipline, okay, in every area of my life, I'm going to take away all the temptations. Remember, I told us that environment is very crucial, and our environment is much better, is much bigger, you know, much better and much bigger than even the willpower that we have as people. So you will be held up on your willpower. You'll be like, you know what, when it comes, I will say no. When it does this, I will say this. But the temptations are going to grow wild and they're going to grow bigger. Before you know it, you have given in to the temptation. Okay, so I need you to take that away as well, so that we can be able to develop our discipline for success. And then you have to have a follow-up routine or a follow routine. Create a daily schedule that supports your goals, okay? Because then it will help you to keep disciplined. If you can be able to break it down and you're like, okay, this week this is what we have done, next week this is what we are doing, and then the other week, and then, you know, so that means you are following a routine. You have a set perimeter and you are able to follow through, and it is easy to read and it's easy to look at. So create daily schedule that supports your goals. Create a daily schedule that supports your goals. Write it down. Put it in a place where you can see. Keep going at it. Keep reading through it. Okay? And let me tell you, before you know it, you will have hit. You will be able to hit the goals that you want to be able to hit. And if you are in a routine, I've been in this routine for quite a long time. You don't develop discipline and just end at developing discipline. No, you keep developing discipline. So these are one of the ways that you can be able to, or these are one of the ways, or some of the ways that I actually developed my own discipline. And let me tell you, I'm still on this journey. I'm still in this fight. I am not giving up. I'm still developing discipline, and I'm still getting better every day. Hold yourself accountable. I don't know how many times I've held myself accountable just to make sure that I develop that discipline inside of me to help me track my progress and have someone who checks on me. And sometimes I will tell my husband, sometimes I will have to be able to just hold myself accountable, because then I will not be able to hit the goal, or I will not be able to have the practice the discipline. This is not even much more about hitting the goal, but it's about practicing the discipline. For me, I think it's more about enjoying the journey more than the target or more than the destination, because then every day becomes better. If you hold yourself accountable, let me say, to the weight loss journey that I've been on for a very long time, I think every day is a day to celebrate. Every day I live in discipline. Every day I continue to follow my routine. Every day I eliminate the temptations. Every day I set clearer visions. As in, for me, it's a day to celebrate. And I don't know how you look at it, but for me, the days are celebratory. The weeks are celebratory. The months are celebratory. When I look at my past, I'm like, you know what? I'm so glad that I started on this journey. And I hope that it can be the same with you, that you do not just look at the finishing line and say, oh, no, that is where I am going. You should be able to say, you know what? I have come this far. I have come this far. Just like so many of us like to sing that song of Mary Mary that says, you know, I've come too far, you know, from where I started from. And, you know, nobody told me that it will be easy, but I mean, here I am. Here I am. Life is not easy. Yeah. Prospering is not easy. Success is not easy. Significance is not easy. Building wealth is not easy. Yeah. I mean, you developing these traits is not easy, but it's worth it. It is worth it. If you take anything from this, it is worth it. All right. So follow a routine, hold yourself accountable, and then be patient. Be patient. Be patient. Discipline is a muscle. It grows with time. Keep pushing it. Keep practicing. Keep showing up. Okay. Whatever it is that you want to achieve, keep showing up. Patience is something that is a virtue that so many people don't have. They want things, they want instant gratification. They want things that work so easily. That is why we have all this content that is going viral about, you know, lose 10 kilos in a week, lose 20 kilos in a week, lose 30 kilos in a week. And I'm like, my goodness, people are losing 30 kilos in a week. People are losing 20 kilos in a week. I'm not saying it's not possible. I have never researched about that. That is not my jurisdiction. That is not even something I long to do. But I will tell you for a fact, patience is a virtue that we must be able to develop if we want to develop discipline. Because being disciplined is a journey. It takes patience. It takes you coming back to the same thing. It takes you coming back to the drawing board. It takes you setting the limits afresh. It takes you a lot. So if you are not patient and you just want to run through, you're going to be so discouraged. You are going to be so, you're going to feel so bad about yourself because you have not been able to hit the things that you are actually meant to hit. All right. So I need you to know that if you want to develop discipline, it's very crucial that you start small. Okay. Just like anything. Yeah. Just like anything, start small. Whether it's exercises, start small. Whether it's eating healthy, start small. Whether it's drinking water, start small. And keep getting better. Whether it's a weight loss journey, start small, as in whatever it is that you're planning to do that involves discipline, any amount of discipline, start small and then have a clearer vision. What do you want to achieve? You know your why. So you need to you need the discipline. If you know your why, a strong why keeps you going. If this is what I want to do, if I want, for example, and I think I gave an example some time back, and I said, for me, if you tell me to work out just to get a six-pack, that is not a strong enough why for me. A strong enough why for me is actually me being able to play with my children at 70, at 80, being able to still go on global stages and speak and stand for 3 hours non-stop without falling or without. So for me, the exercising, it's not actually even about weight loss. No, it's not. That is just as a result. Okay, but for me, it's about toning my body. It's about strength. It's about resilience. It's about the mind, the clarity. My goodness, the kind of clarity you get, when you work out. So for me, I have the stronger why is that I have more years. I believe I have more years to live, and I don't want to live those years dependent. I want to live those years independent and being able to do the things that I love, travel the world and help people and play with my children, play with my grandchildren. So my why is not a six-pack. My why is actually bigger than that. So when I set those clear goals, that means it's so easy for me to be disciplined. You should see when they wake me up in the morning, or when someone calls me, one of my boys calls me, it's like, auntie, it's time, coach is here. The first thing would have been, oh Lord, even if I've had a long night, even if I had a sick child, even if whatever it is, I will wake up and I will go look for my shoes. I will put on my, my gym clothes, and off I will be, up to go and work out. So I keep the discipline because I know what it is that I want. I'm not just working for today. No, because I would have been stepping on the weighing scale every day. I would have been checking on myself every day. I would have been, but I'm working for the long haul, and I've eliminated all the temptations. At least I've explained that. I've taken away all the junk. I've taken away everything that needs to be taken away in order for me to be able to keep myself accountable. Now it has become a part of my life that even when I have those things, because the children will always need those things. They will need the soda, they will need the ice cream, but I make sure that I keep my limits and I know my limits. All right. So discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to get. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to get. I want you to ask yourself, where do I want to get? Where do I want to get? It is very, very crucial. Whether you're in a relationship, whether you're in a marriage, whether it's a work thing, it's a business that you've just started, where do you want to get? Where do you want to get? By the way, even disciplining children, when you ask yourself and you're like, what? This is a bridge between where I am and where I want to get. Where I want to get is I want to bring up resilient children that are going to be responsible citizens. That means I'm going to have to train them in the middle. I have to discipline them. I have to tell them, you don't do this, you don't take that. You don't watch TV at this time, you don't eat this. You don't do that. So that means I am bridging between where I am and where I want to get. Where do you want to get? Ask yourself, is it your weight loss journey? Is it your career development? Is it your developing different streams of income, multiple streams of income? Ask yourself, is it about bettering your marriage? Is it about bettering your relationship? What is it about? Is it about the strength, the resilience? Is it about the clarity that you need? What is it that you actually need? You will have the patience and you will have the discipline to know that discipline is the bridge, and it will get me there if I can only commit to it. Without it, success is just a dream. And I don't want success to be just a dream. Success in any area of your life, in every area of your life. I don't want to be just a dream, something you long for, something that you sit and dream about. I remember watching a certain ad from a lady. She sells cosmetics, and so it was not even an ad, it was a random post, where she was like, someone very prominent has ordered stuff from her, and she was busy packing and doing all those things. And so for so many people thought, up until she came out to show that she was on her table actually dreaming about such powerful people ordering from her, Everyone thought it was true. I thought it was true. Yeah. So for so many of us actually are still in dreamland. So many of us have not gotten to a point where we practice our discipline, where we follow through the routines, where we take away the temptations, where we set clear goals and visions, where we deny ourselves the instant gratification. So many of us have not been able to actually do that. And I know that so many people are going through it, but you of all people should know that you want better for your life. You of all people should know that you can achieve better for your life. You of all people should know that you can do so much with your life. Okay, so if we talk about discipline and we talk about the fact that where you are is not where you want to be. You want to be in a totally different place, and you don't want it to be a dream for the rest of your life and say, I've always dreamt of doing this. And then even in your 80s, you're still dreaming about. How about you stop dreaming and start doing? How about you set the routines and start implementing? How about you take action? Okay. And with it, anything is possible. With discipline, anything is figure outable. Anything is possible. Anything. We love hyping ourselves and say that, you know what, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I love scripture. I love prayer. I love God. Like, my life depends on that, okay? Through and through. But again, if he says that I will bless the works of your hands, the works of our hands are never magic, that you just touch something and poof, it becomes something that you want. That means there is patience between the sowing season and the reaping season. And what keeps us going is the discipline that, you know what, I'm not going to go back and scratch and see that seed. Or if it starts growing, I am not going to, to be all over it all the time. I am going to weed it. I am going to water it. I am going to support it, because I know that at the end of the day, this is what I am going to gain out of it. With discipline, everything is possible. Just like with God, everything is possible. I will tell you that if you can be able to actually add God, if you can be able to have God and Christ, and say with Christ everything is possible, and you add discipline to that, because he calls us to a life of discipline. And we have talked about that. He calls us to a life of discipline. And so if we are not careful, then, for example, whoever loves discipline and knowledge, okay, is going to make it in life, but whoever hates it is stupid. So that means whoever loves discipline is a wise person that says, between where I am and where I want to get, I need to be able to get discipline. If I need to be able to figure out anything or to declare that everything is possible, I should be able to know that certain things do not arrive quickly. Some of the most important things, by the way, they take long to even get ready. They take long to mature. So that means we have to have the patience and the discipline to keep working while we wait for the maturation dates, while we wait for the miracles, while we wait for anything that we are waiting for in this life. Okay, so we can figure it out. It is doable. It is possible. I would want you to break down your life. I would want you to go back and look at your life and ask yourself, okay? Ask yourself, do you have control over your life? If you don't have control over your life, you need discipline, because a disciplined person does not let circumstances, emotions, or excuses control them. They take charge of their actions and create the future that they want. Are you creating the future that you want, or you are giving excuses? Are you creating the future that you want, or you are on the sidelines, on the fences? You gave up long time ago, and there is nothing worse. And I will say this because so many people are going to misunderstand me. There is nothing as bad as listening to people that have not been in those spaces, done that. There are so many motivational speakers, so many inspirational speakers that gave up on their lives long time ago. They are not executing or even doing anything or practicing any discipline, but they can be able to speak about discipline on their mouth. Because then, do you have a discipline meter to know who is disciplined and who is not disciplined? So we don't have that. So most times, but you will hear empty. When you hear empty words, you will know that these are empty empty words. So I need you to be very careful who you listen to, who you listen to. If you don't see someone growing, if you don't see them getting better, if you don't see them having dreams and chasing after them and being diligent and moving towards them, if you don't see someone practicing what they preach, chances are that is air, that they are speaking. It's not something that they have actually applied. So if discipline gives you control over your life, let me tell you, there is nothing as bad as not having control over your life. That means you're living a life of an accident. That means you're just living a life to whoever it may concern. You need to be in charge. You need to be in control. And discipline gives you that. If you wait for perfect time to start your business, just like we said, it will never happen. So when it gives you the control, that means you get to start anywhere, anytime you want, with however little capital you have. You're like, you know what? I'm starting. I'm not waiting. Okay, so you start. Before you know it, it's growing big. Before you know it, you're taking over cities. Before you know it, you're franchising. Before you know it, you're profitable. And they're like, but we watched him start. We watched her start. Why? You took charge over your life. You did not leave it to chance. You did not leave it to anyone else. So I need you to check your life, whether you can cultivate this discipline. Remember, we said start small, but how it helps you, it will help you to overcome all the distractions in the world. This is a world that is filled with, and let me tell you, more distractions are coming. More distractions are coming. And guess what? As people and human beings are creating distractions for human beings, guess what? They are also creating robots that are taking the jobs from the human beings. Just look at the level of selfishness, not even the level of selfishness, but I would say it's the level of advancement. The level of advancement. They are creating robots that are taking the jobs, but they are creating all apps that can be able to distract people. So that means more people are distracted, robots are taking over the jobs. Before you know it, we are in the perpetual cycle of stress and depression, and still consuming all that junk and consuming all the bad media and consuming all the things that are taking our attention. We are not focusing on anything that is building us and taking us anywhere. And before you know it, we have lost a whole generation, okay? And I don't want you to be among those people. I want you to stand out. I want you to make a decision, and I want you to declare it and say, I am going to be disciplined, and it's going to help me overcome distractions, and I'm going to build something, an empire. I'm going to build a legacy that is going to last even more than me. Okay, so build those strong habits. Okay, build those strong habits. If it's a discipline to wake up early, if it's a discipline to sleep on time, if it's a discipline to eat this kind of food, if it's a discipline, build those habits, because successful people don't rely on willpower alone. They create habits and routines. So make sure that you create those habits and routines that, let me tell you, when they become sedimented inside of you, you start living and breathing that, and it becomes a second nature. And that means that there are very slim chances of you relapsing or going back to where you were. Just like they say that when a brain expands, it never shrinks back. Just like a rubber band, when it expands, it never shrinks back to its original form. Like it has expanded. So I need you to expand your habits, okay? Extend your habits and make them work for you. For those of you that are just joining us, we're talking about discipline. And we say that discipline beats motivation any day. Motivation wears out. And motivation is based on emotions. And we are not basing anything on emotions. We are not basing anything on feelings. Yeah, otherwise we are going to make accidents. Otherwise we are going to lose our lives. We are going to lose our money. We are going to lose our homes. We are not basing anything on emotions. Discipline has to have a system that keeps you on track even when you don't feel like it. That is the system I want you to create. That is the accountability I want you to create. That is, and That is what we do in mentorship with Bahati, let alone accelerated mentorship. Accelerated mentorship is for coaches, is for speakers, is for entrepreneurs, it is for leaders that want to build their brands, okay? They want to build their brands, they want to be able to learn digital marketing, they want to be able to learn public speaking, content creation, building of a brand, to become world-class coaches and world-class speakers. Now, that is a more business angle where you get these skills, you start practicing them, you create multiple sources of income, and you are on your merry way to earning your money and impacting lives at the same time. While mentorship with Bahati is a membership where we talk about productivity, how to push yourself ahead, how to create the disciplines that you need to be able, because I know that so many people, when they lack community, when they are isolated, the biggest thing and the worst thing the devil can do for you is isolate you so that you can make your own decisions and make your own routines and give up on them and give up on yourself. And then the year will go and another one will start. And then 5 years from now, you look back and you're like, I'm still in the same place, in a rat race, chasing after my own tail. And that is a miserable life. That is a miserable failure. But if you can be able to join a community of people that are fighting towards their dreams, they are pushing the needle, they are building wealth, they are working hard, they are not settling for less, they do not want an average life. And that is the community I'm inviting you into. This is a community that goes for 12 months, where I hold your hand, where we talk about what it is that you want to be able to achieve. It is a very affordable community. It is not an expensive community. So if you want that for yourself, to make sure that you promote your discipline, to make sure that you create your routines, to make sure that you create systems, to make sure that you do not deviate from your set goals, to make sure that you don't give up on your dreams, to make sure that you do not give up on yourself, sign up for that program. It's actually it's the cheapest program right now that is running, and that is just $100. That is $370 for a full year. Okay, so you get into the membership, and then we curate your own goals, and then we run towards those goals. By the way, we make vision boards even for you as an individual, as groups, so that we can be able to work towards visualization and getting close to those goals, starting small and keeping up the pace, and not just charging towards your dreams at once, but starting small and growing over time. I have seen people grow in business. I have seen people grow in their relationships and their marriages. I have seen people, because we all have different targets, but we all have a common cause, that we are dreamers that do. We are dreamers that don't just dream, but we dream and put action to back our dreams. And so we are able to achieve our dreams. I'm inviting you into that community. Let me know if it's something that you're interested in. Let me be your mentor to make this year the best year of your life. I want you to envision yourself at the end of this year, on the 31st of the last month of this year, while you look back beaming with a lot of joy, beaming with a lot of courage for the next year, but with a lot of joy for the achievements that you have looked at. Remember, we said, do not do everything at the same time. We pace ourselves, okay, so that we can be able to hit our goals. But just imagine that out of the 12 goals, that you've been able to hit 7 and more. Out of the 10 goals, you've been able to hit 7 and more. And you are looking at that list, and you are checking one by one and saying, I was able to do this. I hit my money goals. We set your money goals. I was able to hit my career, what I wanted to do in my career, the kind of skills I wanted to achieve, how I wanted to look and feel is so important, guys. How I've been able to boost my confidence, how I've been able to serve God in my generation. You're taking them off while you're sipping on your cup of tea, and you're saying, thank you, Jesus, Ebenezer, this far the Lord has brought me. I want to be able to celebrate with you. as the year ends. So I'm inviting you into the community of winners, into the community of people that keep each other accountable, into the community of people that pray together. Do not sign up for this program if you're not the kind that is looking to also pray with a group of people and be able to fast with us and to be able to charge towards your goals. No, because who I am, what I am is what I give, and what I am is God. What I am is prayer and hard work and diligence and discipline and systems. Okay, that is who I am. And I kid you not, at the end of this year, you are going to look back and you're going to be amazed at how far you have come. So invite a friend, sign up as a group. You could be work colleagues, and some of you could be HRs, some of you could be people that have work people around you. Sign up with them. Let's join this, where we can have monthly meetings, you know, and just talk about life, where we can have, you know, celebrating moments, where we look at our goals, where we review our goals, where we come together in prayer, where we fast together. I believe that it will be a good thing. But discipline is one of those things that you should never forget in your life. You should never put aside, not for any reason. If you're ever to take anything from this, I need you to be able to take this. 2 Timothy 1:7. For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. It gives us power, it gives us love, and it gives us self-discipline. So that means discipline is a gift from God. It empowers us to overcome fear and succeed in everything that we set our minds to do. In case you have any question, the numbers are on your screen. In case you want to join us for any of the programs, still let us. We will give you all the information and all the details so you can sign up and join the communities. Otherwise, I love you and I pray over you that God will cover you with His grace and His protection and help you to keep the discipline.